you guys and girls in the Illumination. Time to jump aboard the Loom train. It's me, it's JJD, Double J, the Illuminator here, the sweet one. Also known by almost countless other aliases and nicknames, but we won't get into that right now. Keeping with our Christmas theme here, I wanted to talk today about, this would have been Christmas of 1989. And I remember dates. I'm just one of those people, but that year we had gone to a buddy of my father's was clearing out a whole bunch of land, and he was selling Christmas trees. And he had a license to do stuff like that. He was a kind of a jack of all trades and stuff like that. But he was clearing out a whole bunch of land, I believe, in Massachusetts, and um, I was 14 at the time, um, and he was selling trees almost dirt cheap. And the funny thing is, my parents, I was off at school. My parents went and bought a tree, brought it home. My father, usually with the real trees, my father would leave the tree outside in a bucket of water until we were ready to set it up. Now, back then, we set up the tree about 2 weeks before Christmas, and then we took it down right around New Year's Day. Some point, at some point, I believe it was after we got the tree in the house and set it up, my mother swears to this day somebody must have switched trees with us, because the tree that we brought in the house, there's an old term that we use called the Charlie Brown tree. This tree was probably the worst tree we ever had, ever. This tree, you could see through it. It was almost like a Christmas hedge. It really didn't have a top or a bottom. It was an absolute, so totally different than what we were used to for a Christmas tree. It was like, it was just as wide on the top as it was on the bottom. And my mother, to this day, she swears that somebody switched trees while it was outside in a bucket in our yard. And to see actual photos from back then of that tree, it's almost like cringe-worthy, because this tree was absolutely not up to the regular par that we would have a Christmas tree. And I think it's because, my own personal take on it, it's because it wasn't an actual pine tree or a balsam fir or anything. It was from somebody who was clearing out land and just looking for trees that you know probably looked a lot better outside at the time than after it falls a little bit and gets into your house. And we still talk about that once in a while, about how that tree that year was just it was very noteworthy for the fact that it was so terrible. Even we had a camcorder that year for the first time, and with the nice big VCR cassettes, and probably more like like that, and not really like that. And to go back and see stuff when it's like, oh my goodness, look at that tree. Unlike anything we'd ever had, ever, even past that, we never did anything like that again. But it's just really, really funny when you can just have these stories about trees, and just be able to laugh as the years go on. And laughter is very important, and especially this time of year. um, it's not always a good time for people. Some people have passed on, and family members are not always, the families rather, are not always what they used to be, because family members are no longer with us. And it's okay to hold on to memories and try to make the best of things. And if you can do it with laughter, it seems to be a little bit easier, for the most part anyway. But I just wanted to share that story with everyone. um that's about it for today. Sail Alberski, I'm off to the races. I love you all. Stay safe, be good to yourselves. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. This is the Illuminator, and I'll be back.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.